Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and on today's video I am going to exploit your confirmation bias by talking about something that I'm sure you already agree with, and that most of my audience, as that being most of my audience does live in the Northern Hemisphere, most of my audience is experiencing summer. So in this video I am going to be giving you 8 benefits, 8 tips. No, they're not tips, they are benefits. 8 benefits to running outside in nature. And of course this is sort of confirmation bias, which we all like, because I'm sure you already know that there are some benefits to just being outside in nature, right? It usually beats being like cooped up inside, running on a treadmill. As most of you are running outside right now, I think this is a good time to talk about the benefits. Let's get into it. Now guys, I did come across this article on brooksrunning.com. Now this article isn't exactly about Brooks. In fact, it's not about Brooks at all. But Brooks is having a pretty good year in the whole running shoe space. Again, this article has nothing to do with Brooks. It's just about running outside, whether or not you are in Brooks shoes or not. And the article is titled 8 Holistic Benefits of Running Outside in Nature. Right? That's pretty much how I sold it. And guys, don't worry if you can't be bothered to listen to me or pay attention. I will place a link in the show notes below in case you want to click on it and just read through the article yourself. And here's what you can do for me right now. Guys, if you are not already subscribed to this channel and you like running and you like talking about running, I would love it if you would subscribe and just click that little thumbs up button just to like this video. If nothing else, then you are simply showing me that you like this video, this type of video, and that you somewhat enjoy hearing me ramble on about running. And here's the thing, if you don't enjoy hearing me rambling on about running, make sure you drop a comment and let me know what you don't like, and also subscribe. Okay, so that was a bit of a ramble to get started, but let's jump right into it. And you know what, before we jump into it, I cannot exactly say what is negative from running inside. Like maybe you're running on a treadmill, maybe you're running on a track, because it's just something that I never do, or I do it so seldom that when I do it, it's because there is no other option. Now I still stand by these running outside benefits because it works for me that running outside is good for us, because I'm lucky enough to run outside most days. If there is a day that I can't run outside, and there's actually been a couple in the last couple of weeks just because of thunderstorms, then I will generally just take a day off. But the first benefit to running outside is managing stress. Now, here's the thing. You may be thinking that, going for a run, it actually makes me more stressed. Like, it's difficult. I don't really want to do it. Like, I know I'm doing something good for myself, but I get stressed just on the run because my heart rate is high. Guys, sorry. Got nothing for you, because that is manageable stress, and it is voluntary manageable stress. Now, of course, we all know that chronic stress or too much stress is bad for us, but this voluntary manageable stress has actually been found to have both quick and long-lasting mental and physical benefits. And get this, according to research from UC Berkeley, and I'm going to put this up on your screen so you can just read it, manageable stress increases alertness and performance, and by encouraging the growth of stem cells that become brain cells, stress improves memory. The increase in stem cells and neuron generation makes sense from an adaptive point of view. I mean, it makes sense to me. And look, the reason that this type of stress is good for us is exactly because, as I've already said it a couple of times now, but it's voluntary and it definitely is manageable. When we go for a run outside, we are increasing our strength, our stamina, our discipline, definitely our discipline, because it's not something that, we often want to do, and our stress response. Now, the article also says that running outside gives us increased variability and keeps us mentally strong and adaptable to our environment. Now, I'm not sure that part actually applies to me, because I always run outside and I generally run like the same couple of loops around my house, so that repetition is not really introducing any variability, but I'll still take it. But also, the article goes on to say that when you're running in conditions that aren't just ideal, so think most conditions in summer, where it's hot, might be humid, not the type of weather that is just conducive to running our absolute best. By running when it's not ideal, it keeps us mentally and physically limber. And the reason we want to be limber is because we do want to be adaptive to our environment, no matter how uncomfortable it seems at the time. Of course, these changes by overcoming hurdles of weather also applies in the winter, but I think winter is a lot more difficult to get out. At least if you live in a place that has a harsh winter, where it gets below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just props to you guys. The second benefit of running outside is to enjoy moments of awe. And these awe just doesn't have to be like running along the rim of the Grand Canyon and seeing something just so mind-blowingly astounding that you're in awe. We're talking about micro moments of awe. And that could be anything, like seeing animals on the side of the road, to seeing a gorgeous sunrise or a sunset. There are little things that we are just surrounded with, little things of beauty in nature, that if we take a moment to actually appreciate it, we can experience these feelings of awe on a somewhat regular basis, maybe even daily. I know that sometimes on my very easy runs where they're just repetitive, I'm going out just to get that mileage in, sometimes I find myself kind of tuned out. But then when I see a couple of deer crossing the road in front of me, or I'm running at sunrise and the sky is just gorgeous, I'm like reminded of the beauty that's all around me and that I really need to open my eyes and pay attention to it. And get this, we really should be fostering these senses of awe that we get when we're out on the run. Because there was a study at UC San Francisco that showed that even brief moments of awe yield surprising benefits, such as an expanded perception of time and increased feelings of generosity, well-being, and humility. These are all good things, and we get these things by just appreciating our surroundings. The third benefit is to soak up some vitamin D. Look, I'm really not a fan of this, but I can afford not to be a fan of this because I live in an area with a lot of sunshine, and in all likelihood I'm probably getting more than enough vitamin D. But studies have shown that up to 35% of Americans don't get enough vitamin D. So by being outside, by being in the sun, you're able to get that vitamin D from the sun and be healthier. Of course, there is a downside, and that's skin cancer. So make sure you're wearing your sunscreen. That would be a good time for me to ask you, do you guys wear sunscreen on a regular basis? Like when you go out for your run in the sun, are you putting sunscreen on before? Typically, I don't, but I think that is because I am usually out for my run before the sunrise and I'm not running too long in the sun. But I always put on sunscreen like before I leave to go to work because I know I'm going to be out and about all day in the sun. But definitely drop a comment and let me know about your sunscreen use. The fourth benefit of getting outside and running is increasing your fitness. And yes, you could probably increase your fitness on a treadmill, but it's a lot more fun outside. Now, this first sentence of this paragraph of the article, I absolutely love. It says that in almost any system on Earth, whether the human body, society, or your backyard garden, diversity creates more resilience and strength. Isn't that true? Diversity creates resilience and strength. But if we consider it from running, it's exactly the same thing. Running outside offers a more variety of terrain and a varying stimulus from like jumping over curbs or being on trails where it's not exactly even. You know, if you compare that to running on the treadmill where it's just flat and very consistent for the whole time that you're running, yeah, you are going to build strength by running outside. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, it does make sense, right? Your core is going to be more engaged when you're kind of going around a corner or your footing is a little uneven compared to your core is just, I don't know, an unflexed mess when you're running on a treadmill. I mean, maybe that's an exaggeration, but it seems like it would be true. I mean, the article says it, so yeah, it must be true. The fifth benefit to running outside is to improve your knee and back health. Look, I think this is one of those things that we've all experienced. Like you've probably got co-workers or people that don't run that have said to you, how are your knees? Man, your knees are going to be shot. I'm sure there are a lot of you that have had someone tell you that they used to run but their knees are now shot. Yet there was a study in the Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery that compared 675 runners, and it concluded that the arthritis rate of runners was well below that of the average American. Now, when running on trails and softer surfaces, that softer surface is going to have less impact on your knees and your back, at least when we compare it to concrete or a treadmill. So that seems like a good excuse to hit the trails to me. Okay, let's move on to the next benefit, and that is you can increase your lifespan. Now, if there are any of you out there that don't actually want to live longer, I don't really care to hear from you, but most of us, we would probably like to increase our lifespan, at least our lifespan when we're active and we're able to do stuff and be healthy, and running is going to help with that. Now, there was a 2018 meta-study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, and it concluded that running participation is associated with 27, 30, and 23% lower risk of all-cause cardiovascular and cancer mortality. Now, of course, that is compared with non-running. Now, of course, I don't have the study right in front of me, and if I'm going to look at it from like a binary perspective where we've got no running, and by running, I'm going to have a less chance of dying of cardiovascular disease and cancer, then yeah, it's a no-brainer. Get out for a run. And the seventh benefit to running outside is that you can decrease depression. Simply put, running helps combat depression. Obviously, if you are depressed, you should see a doctor, you should see a therapist. There are plenty of resources out there to help you. But if you are looking to help yourself, running can do that. Now, I am not a medical professional, and I am only reading this from an article that I found on brooksrunning.com. I can tell you from my perspective that, yeah, running makes me happy. Like, it keeps me more level. And look, there are probably a boatload of reasons why running can help combat depression. And it's probably partly with running outside, right? As humans, we've evolved from being outside. And when you throw in a few experiences of awe, you start exploring new things, body gets stronger. Yeah, it's a recipe for success. So guys, now I want to hear from you. I especially want to know if you have any other benefits of running outside. Like, what didn't I cover in that list definitely drop a comment and let me know. Or drop your favorite reason or your favorite benefit why you like to run outside. And look, I totally get it. For those of you that live like really far to the north in the wintertime, when it's cold, yeah, you have to do what you can do. And maybe running outside isn't quite as fun or beneficial. It's below zero. And in those cases, yeah, you're probably getting more of a benefit by being inside on the treadmill because you're still able to scratch that cardiovascular fitness itch. But when you can get outside, yeah, I think it's worth it, and that is going to come as a surprise to no one. So guys, if you have made it till this point in the video, I want you to put some kind of emoji in the comments that represents being outside. Be a tree, could be the sun, could be an animal, right? This is player's choice. So drop an emoji that represents something outside. With that, it's Matt V. This video has been about the benefits of running outside. Thanks for staying all the way to the end. Be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.